This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Caitlin Bassett, how are you?
Good morning.
Hi,
Good.
Caitlin.
Tommy Barrett.
Good.
What a great year he's had,
Yeah,
Tom Barrett.
and isn't this his milestone match this weekend? Seabass, do you know?
It is,
Don't
yeah.
ask me questions like
Okay.
that.
I've got a question for you. It looks like it's going to rain today. What are you doing? Are you in the office writing an article? What's happening?
Oh, this is the one time I wish I was. I'm getting sent out to Eagles training.
Okay. Is that undercover?
It is not. No, it's not the worst. I get to be part of the Hayden Hunt.
Jaden Hunt.
Get his name right. Jaden Hunt presser first, and then I'll go and watch them train and see what they are doing out there in the wet. But yeah, football, winter sport, I'm not a fan.
Oh, you played netball. What are you talking about?
Inside.
Not as a junior, though. You would have been
This is
out in the
true.
rain.
That's why I've got all the scars on my knees from stacking it on the concrete courts as a kid.
I played in hail in Esperance. Hail.
Jaden played an awesome game last weekend for the West Coast Eagles in their loss. Everyone else is poor.
Yeah.
And I heard some audio of Carl Langdon actually calling the game.
Yeah.
And he got the Jaden Hunt with another thing caught up. And he
like
went
a Carmichael.
He went the real swear word.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Yes.
Oh, no.
You would love it. It's so funny.
Oh God, it's you think you
Don't do that in the presser today.
No, you can't. No, I'll just sit there and listen.
You just said it.
You're gonna jinx me now.
Now, Caitlin, you are going to write an article on probably maybe cross-code coaches.
Well, yeah, I've been thinking there's so many coaches come out recently and said, no, we don't, we're pulling our hat out of the ring, basically.
Yes.
We're not interested
For the
in coaching
Eagles
West
match.
Coast.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
which I think is really interesting because an old coach of mine, Lisa Alexander, when the North Melbourne coaching gig was up for grabs, said, I'll do it as a elite netball coach.
And I think back in the day, Joyce Brown did it too.
Yeah.
So Fraser Brown's mum, she was a netball coach.
Well, Rick Charlesworth, he came from cricket and he ended up coaching, hockey.
And then went to the Dockers for a while. Not as a senior coach, but he consulted there.
So there's a precedent. There is definitely a precedent.
So is it the coach doesn't know the particulars about the sport, but they know the ethos of winning, and then they've got the people that surround them with support, knowing all the ins and outs?
Well,
Would that be it?
question.
Yes.
As a head coach, how much tactical coaching do you actually do as an AFL club?
Well, there's a bit of it, but there's the man management, as we're talking about, there can be. So if you talk about Chris Fagan, who coaches Brisbane, has been unbelievably successful. He was the list manager and general manager of the Hawthorn Football Club before he got that job. So do you have to be a coach?
He just worked in the office.
Yeah, but he had a
reception.
photocopier, Nate. But can I get back to the cross-code stuff,
Yes.
which you're looking at and writing this article about, and you bring up Rick Charlesworth. At every opportunity, the media will cut you to ribbons if your team is not successful and you've hired a guy out of another sport.
This is true. It's the Ted Lasso. I mean, it is the Ted Lasso.
But this is not Ted Lasso.
No.
What I'm saying by that is
In real life.
the media will be the ones who will burn the West Coast Eagles joint down if things go wrong with a cross-code.
But
So you're
you're
saying
part of that,
Caitlin and
though.
us, yeah.
You would do that too.
We are the media.
We are the media.
Yeah, but we're not those people.
You are. You can be that person. Are you kidding me?
Look at that
You
smug smile on his
guaranteed
face.
would get the Eagles if they go bloody had a volleyball coach.
But you know what?
Well, I
They're
had
going to
Rick
get burnt
Charlesworth,
down
mate.
for not performing well with an AFL coach.
Yes.
Nah,
Legitimately
you
at the
open yourself
moment.
up.
You're damned if you do and you're damned
No,
if you
you
don't,
open yourself
basically.
up. So Rick Charlesworth was amazing. His insight into sport in general and the professionalism it takes to be what he was, the best hockey player in the world for a decade, right? And he was a hard-ass bastard who coached the Hockey Roos to victory, Olympics all the time. When he came to the Dockers, every chance there was an opportunity for the local paper to write something negative if we didn't win a game,
The Fremantle
they go
Herald.
straight. Very good, Nat. They would go straight for us. And they would link
And he wasn't
him
even the
and
senior
being a part
coach.
of
He
it.
was a high-performance consultant.
Yeah,
No, I
wasn't
don't
he?
want you
Yeah.
to scare people away. There's probably a really good T-ball coach right now
Yeah.
listening going, wait, I was about to throw my hat in the ring.
Be scared. Be scared.
Because I think the world of T-ball
They're
can
coming
translate
for
to
you.
AFL.
I love T-ball.
I just think it would make a great story, wouldn't it? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's no coach who wants to be involved at the moment. No one is outwardly saying, hey, I'll put my hat in the ring. Everyone's kind of backpedaling as quickly as they can. So,
But they
if-
might be doing it on the sly.
They might
We
be doing it
don't
on
know.
the
Yeah,
sly.
I'm
So
not-
if no one within the sport is super keen, how about opening our vision and think about maybe a coach from outside that would be interested?
But we're saying you're saying nobody's super keen. We've seen two guys who have pulled out of the race because they're guaranteed those jobs.
Yes.
Ken Hinkley will probably get the sack by the end of the year. Josh Carl be the senior coach. And John Longmire's not going to stick around for more than another couple of seasons. Dean
So
Cox will
that's
get
Coxie.
elevated to that position. So when we are putting it out into the media, and I was asked this on our show, The Game, who's going to be the coach? There's going to be a whole lot of people where we don't know what their upskills been like over the last decade and how well they've educated themselves to be able to coach this.
That's
We're
why,
guessing. And you don't want to put yourself out there to get your head cut
That's
off.
why I
You've
haven't
just
put my
got
name in
Thank
there,
you,
Shaun.
Nathan.
Caitlin, do you want to speak about netball at all before we let you go?
Let's talk about netball. West Coast Fever, ripping win on the weekend.
Unbelievable win. They were solid, weren't they?
10 goals in the end. I think they just, they're hitting their peak at the right time. They're going to go on now and play the Melbourne Vixens, who got absolutely demoralised by the Thunderbirds, who were straight through the grand final. So it's going to be a good match. The first time these two teams met here in Perth, they got beaten by the Vixens, and then they beat them by 1 goal just recently in Melbourne. So they're going to be playing on their home court.
Oh, nice.
But, I mean, the crowds this year at RSC Arena have been insane.
And the noise that crowd generates. When Janelle Fowler, and it was her birthday on Sunday as well, so she was, it was a special reason to celebrate. But when she nailed a super shot, because she's not a super shot shooter, and in fact we don't really have a super shot specialist like some of the other teams do.
Is that like a power pick in lotto?
It's like when it's worth 2, so you've got to shoot from further out.
It's only at the end of the quarter.
And for the last 5 minutes of each quarter, when she nailed it, the roof just about lifted off. Well, it was amazing.
She didn't get a super shot in the game. You must have been thinking about a previous game. She shot 67 from 67 1-point goals. She was absolutely incredible.
What, 67
100%.
times?
Yes. 100%. And think about 60 minutes in a netball game.
67's more than I've ever had in my lifetime.
I know. She's just a goal shooting machine. It's quite scary when you think about it, and the fact that she plays for Jamaica. And so, there's been a little bit of talk in the background saying, well, the two biggest teams this season, Fever and the Thunderbirds, have the most Jamaican players in them as well. So it's scary. We
are coaching them up for world championships. They're on fire, right?
Good on you, Seabass. Thanks for coming in.
Love you, Seabass.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
The Olympics live and free on Channel 9, 9 Gem and 9 Now. Can't wait to see all this. It's going to be amazing. We caught up with Matthew Pavlich. He's over there representing 9. We did that earlier this morning. Pav, it's good to catch up with you while you're over in Paris at the moment. We did see a couple of days ago, chucked on your Instagram, you're setting up as you were doing 9 News and the Champs-Elysees in the background, or the Eiffel Tower, actually.
You just know French things at this point, aren't you?
There's a croissant in the background. That was amazing.
How amazing. What a great place to be.
Yeah, I had a lot of comments that I'm wearing shorts or Birkenstocks or my white runners at the time. But it's quite hot over here, so, party at the top and dress for casual downstairs, Shaun. It needs to happen. But, like some of the most iconic places in the world, really, in terms of being where we are shooting from. The Eiffel Tower was amazing down by the banks of the Seine. And then, last night, Monday night, we were outside the Arc de Triomphe. I think we're looking at the Sacré-Cœur or Notre Dame later today. So, sort of being tourists at the same time as working hard. So very, very, very cool. And the great thing was, we just saw a couple of Chloe Covell, the young skateboarder. She was doing a bit of a shoot or a bit of a skateboard in front of the Arc de Triomphe. There's plenty of Aussies around. There was a few people trying to pester me for a photo and calling out. So it was lots of
international celebrity.
No, they were just local bogans from Perth.
But international. Hey, Pav, we were seeing all these reports of all the athletes getting to the village, and a few of them been testing out the beds. One of them said that there's a soft side and there's a firm side to these mattresses. They're not mattresses, they look like packing foam, hard packing foam. Yeah. And then she goes, oh my God, we were sleeping on the soft side. My thing with that is, and you guys have both been professional athletes, don't you need to get a good night's sleep to be able to perform the best? And the only reason I'm throwing this out there is we've got these amazing Australian companies like Koala, and I would just think, why wouldn't Koala donate the mattresses, and then later on you could buy those mattresses, each athlete could assign them, and then you could buy a used mattress.
Yeah, it depends on how much fun they've had.
Don't throw the blue light on there.
But what do you reckon?
I was having a conversation earlier tonight, Paris time, with Paralympian and also a former athlete. So we're in the hotel with Andrew Gaze, James Tompkins, Dylan Alcock, obviously a few others around the place. So it's very cool. We get to kind of hang out and talk about old stories. Yeah. And they reckon the beds they used in Tokyo, they're recycling here in Paris. So not only are you not getting a good night's sleep, but they're 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah,
I was reading that they are repurposing all these things.
Well, it's the sustainable games, so they are. Yeah, they're being really thoughtful about that.
But you need to get a good night's sleep.
Sustainable, but no one's getting a good night's sleep.
No, but if no one's getting a good night's sleep, it's an equaliser.
Yeah.
As long as it's everybody.
Hey, Pav, it must be really exciting for you to be over there at this present time. I know you talked about the people that you've seen and staying in a hotel with, but have you got a sense of the atmosphere building, there's security around and all that kind of stuff to add to the attention?
Yeah, we've had a few security briefings as a part of, broadcasting on 9 across the next couple of weeks. Like, it's pretty full on, Shawnee, but they're pretty confident that it's going to be, it's all going to be fine. Like, it's quite interesting walking around the streets. Like, there's police. Honestly, every 5 minutes there'd be a police escort and sirens going. So they're running either programs ahead of what's going to happen the next 2 weeks. I think there's going to be 100 head of states here, which is the most ever for an Olympic Games. And clearly, Paris and France has had its history of events, so I think they're taking it incredibly seriously. All the nations are starting to arrive and lots of different accents around the place. So it's just that feeling of a big international event's very cool.
I want to know, Pav, when you were playing football, did you ever think that your life would lead you to being a commentator at the Olympics in Paris? Like, is this are these pinch yourself moments for you personally?
I think once we're going to the Palace of Versailles for the equestrian on the first couple of days. So
what an amazing location for it, by the way. That is nuts.
Yeah, and then there's going to be some hockey and water polo and golf. So no, I absolutely not, Nathan. I didn't think that playing for the Fremantle Dockers would lead to this, but what a wonderful opportunity.
That's right, and 700 goals. That'll get you over the line. Tell me about the equestrian and the homework you've done, what you've learnt.
Well, you know what I did. I started doing it today. The only reason I'm reaching over here is because I've got like my notebook right with me.
Notebook.
I've learned a lot over the last couple of days about equestrian, I can tell you.
Of course.
So, we've got some eventing. And Australia have been actually very, very impressive in the eventing space. Won, I think, 5 gold medals. And I think we'll probably go pretty well again. But I've had to brush up a lot.
Give us something you learned,
Who are the contenders? For example.
So Germany are always the ones, whether it's dressage, whether it's eventing, or whether it's jumping, that will be featuring up there. Great Britain more recently have been really, really strong. And Australia, we punch above our weight in eventing. And I'm going to pull out some stats here because I've got my sheet. So this Olympics, we have 6 Olympians that'll be their 5th Olympic Games, the likes of Eddie Ockenden, Joe Ingles, Melissa Wu, the diver, and a few others. But Edwina Tops-Alexander,
high fun,
popular name, really well-known name. So she's at her 5th Olympics as well, and she'll be featuring in the jumping this year. So we'll be watching Edwina. She lives...
you don't hear a lot of elite athletes called Edwina.
You don't, do you?
No, and Pav, is there any terminology that you have to get used to?
Yes.
I mean, we've just talked about jumping and a horse and, people's names, but terminology?
Yeah, so I learned...
Go to the tab that says terminology.
It says big word.
The eventing is about equine triathlon, combining dressage, cross-country and jumping, providing the ultimate test over 3 days. It's about obedience. It's about testing the horse and the rider. There's a lot to know, Shaun. I mean, seriously, if you want more, just call me afterwards.
And have you got to know the horses as well? I mean, it's one thing to know the people, but what about the horses?
Yeah, there's a horse called Milky Way, which I'm interested to...
Being ridden by the Milky Way kid.
That'd be a grey, I'd say.
There's Chris Burton this year's riding Shadow Man.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Did you see Miss Copycat out there? Is she in there, or Ali Kassan?
Operation Leftwood.
That was a ripper.
What's your workday look like? Do you get any time to go and shop on the Champs-Élysées or anything?
This first week we've got a little bit of downtime, but
cool.
once it all starts, it's going to be pretty full on. So I haven't been shopping the Champs-Élysées, which Lauren might be a bit flat with, but we'll get there eventually.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go. You got a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Got to study up those dressage terms.
Yeah.
And water polo. Do you know much about? I mean, Shawnee, you're a water polo man. What do you got for us?
What do I know? Well, just about every Olympian that's played water polo is related to me, so there's a start.
It's not even a lie, is it? It's amazing.
You'll enjoy the water polo. The old Croatian blood in you. You should be able to play water polo, Pav.
Lots of nipple cripping and
Yes.
grabbing the old nuts.
And wedgies. They love a
100%.
wedgie.
Squirrel grip all day long.
Love your work, Pav.
Thanks, Pav.
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you out.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.